Hey guys, Lawrence back in Tech Country. I just got back from vacation, so that's why I haven't really shaved, but that doesn't matter.
This is not true. Lawrence has been back from vacation for a few days. He's just being lazy.
I saw how crazy GPU prices have gone up, so I decided to search on Newegg for some sales on GPUs, and hopefully you can find this video helpful in any way. And if you do upgrade for new build or running SLI or whatever the matter is, I recommend watching this video and going to the end. The video shout out for this video goes to Fluffy Unicorn. Yes, I know I didn't believe it either when I saw the comment, but oh well. If you want to be the next video subscriber, please consider subscribing, and let's get on to the video. Starting off the first GPU, yes, the GTX 1030 from Gigabyte. I know 1030, what are you thinking? But hey, consider this. It's a 2 GB graphics card with GDDR5, so GDDR5 fast RAM, or fast GPU basically, with the core clock of 1265 MHz and 1518 MHz boost. Only having the one DVI, one HDMI is a bummer. The price of this card is $90, which is not as bad at all. You can run most of new-end titles, low to medium settings, 40 to 60 FPS. In conclusion, this would be a decent starting card just to play video games and enjoy the story, while not thinking about the graphics in the game. In conclusion, this card is a great starting off card. I'd highly recommend anybody who's moving into a dorm room and they just want to start gaming, on the side, and not build that PC more for gaming, but more for like school, whatever you're gonna need to do. But it's a perfect starting off card. It's definitely there, and it's definitely a low-end price. The next card on the list is a GTX 1050 from Gigabyte. This is an amazing card for the price. I would much more recommend this GPU than any other for cheap gaming. What I mean by cheap gaming is, budget gaming. Built to play every game out there with 2 gigs of VRAM and a core clock of 1404 MHz and a boost of 1493. I recommend the slight overclocking, having the dual link DVI-D, one HDMI, one DisplayPort, and its nice set of I/O. The 640 CUDA cores, this can also help light rendering software supply if your software supports. With this card, you're not going to run into any issues at all. And 60 FPS and high settings on some lower end titles like BioShock, or older games like that, maybe some Battlefield. Leave a comment down in the description what games you would like to play, or what most of you guys play, so I can actually have like a general baseline for what everybody likes to play. Now this is definitely one of the cheaper options and the most recommended options, because it's only $140 on Newegg. And check for mail-in rebates, or even check around you. Maybe there's some people who they upgraded from a 1050 to a 1070 and they don't need that 1050 anymore, and you can probably get it for maybe $20 or $30 cheaper if you buy it used or refurbished. Now let's get on to some real power. Not all the way godly PC, you're not god PC yet, but you're definitely getting there. The GTX 1050 Ti from Zotac with 4 gigs of VRAM, which is double the VRAM of the last two previous cards, not combined, just doubled. With the core clock of 1303 MHz and a boost of 1417 MHz, the 768 CUDA cores, you can run VR. You are now VR ready with this card. Play any game to your heart's content and max out some older games for new releases. You can expect medium high settings with 60 to 100 gigs. Expect 60 to 100 FPS, no problem. Most games, this is probably the graphics card that's going to future-proof you quite a bit, and you're going to be playing some games with a lot of decent graphics. It can run any game up to date, no problem. I would definitely recommend picking up this card. If you find it on sale and you need to upgrade, I definitely recommend it. Or maybe you want to run that new HTC Vive you picked up and not realizing you need a stronger GPU to actually use the HTC Vive, this is definitely the card to start off with. With one DVI-D and one HDMI and one DisplayPort, that's more than enough I/O for the average person. For the price of $170, actually not bad. Way better to spend $30 more than the last GPU. The GTX 1050, it almost doubles the performance and it's VR ready. So if you want to get the 1050, get the 1050. But I really recommend spending the extra $30 to get the Ti, just because you get way more performance. And if you overclock, it's gonna be very juicy. If you get that performance, it's gonna be a lot better. You're up there in the godly PC levels. Compared to the 3 cards I've shown in this video, compared to the other graphics cards I've shown on this list, this thing has a whopping 6 gigs of VRAM and a base clock of 1641 and a boost of 1771 MHz. Not only will this graphics card knock your socks off, but it'll knock your girlfriend off the couch into the bedroom. And if you don't have a girlfriend, it'll probably get your girlfriend. This bad boy has dual fans, so I definitely recommend overclocking slightly, just for the extra performance like I mentioned earlier. I recommend playing max settings, try and max everything out. You could probably do it, probably not GTA5, but FORTNITE no problem, Battlefield no problem, Rainbow Six Siege no problem, PUBG no problem. You'll be running everything no problem. This graphics card is basically future proof. 60 to 120 FPS for medium to high settings. That was a typo. Probably high settings, you'll get 60 to 120 FPS. With 3 display ports, 1 HDMI, you're probably thinking, what's the catch? Well, the card costs $310. That's a lot of dough to drop on a card on Newegg. Now there's quite a bit of investment on a GPU, but if you're building a workstation / gaming PC, I would highly recommend, since the high core clock will help in both scenarios. And I'm probably saying, is a 1060 really that worth it? Me personally, I would recommend getting a GTX 970 Ti. And I know it's a generation before card, but it would probably have better performance than a 1060. Not a 1060 Ti, but it would. If you can find it cheaper, I definitely recommend looking in the last gen graphics cards, just because they're going to be a lot cheaper and they're going to have similar performance. But I do recommend getting the 1060 if you can. On to the last final card. Now this card would be a dream to have. My friend Josh has it. He runs into no problems playing any game out there. And you're probably expecting the last card in this list to be a GTX graphics card like I have this whole list, or a more expensive card, but not today. The MSI Radeon RX 580 has whopping 8 gigs of VRAM and a core clock of 1366 MHz. It's safe to say that this is the best performance per dollar PC that you can get at this time. Now you're in the high-end territory. You have a godly PC if you have a graphics card like this. And it's not for your average gamer. You're not going to be playing the same 5 games with this graphics card. This is like for a multiverse of games. This is to play VR. This is to watch this render. This is to, you can do all kinds of things with this card. This is probably future-proofing here. You probably can have this graphics card for the next 5 or 10 years or so and have no problem. Now running almost every game max setting 60 FPS, you need ports. This bad boy has ports. 1 DVI, 2 HDMI, 2 display ports. Don't know what you need that many ports for, but hey, they're there. And for a price of $270 and $20 off after mail-in rebate on Newegg, this GPU is a steal. And yes, of course, it's VR ready. Now, in conclusion, are all these graphics cards really the best on the market right now, and are the best for the price right now? No, definitely not. There's definitely going to be somewhere that has really good prices. I just haven't found them yet. I've been looking around for a few days. I just got a vacation, so while I was on vacation, I was looking at lists. I was looking at GPUs, looking at other lists, looking on Twitter, looking everywhere for the best prices. Right now, this is the best I can find. Definitely, I would recommend picking up the 1050 Ti if you can. And if you can't pick up that, you can get maybe a 970 Ti or even a 980 for the same price. I wouldn't trust eBay, but if you check on OfferUp, Craigslist, around your neighborhood, maybe you can find somewhere that has pretty decent GPUs in your area. That's definitely what I did. I hugely recommend it. Make sure the card works, and make sure it's not like from an old mining rig, just because. Thank you guys for watching. I haven't made a video in a while. I'm going back to school, so I'm going to try and post as much as possible. But it's my junior year. I need to grind. I hope I can get more videos out. I don't know. Thank you guys for 61 subscribers, I think. I checked this morning. Please consider subscribing. Please consider subscribing so you can be in the next video shout out, possibly, maybe, who knows. And if you like this video, like it. If you think this video sucked, obviously give it a thumbs down, and comment and tell me what's your guys' favorite games to play. That would actually be really helpful in my next GPU video, or even CPU video, or even power supply video, who knows. I need to know a baseline of what games you guys play, so when I make my reviews or these videos, I need to know what games, I want to look at all the benchmarks and make sure that, it's for those games that I can run well with all those games. I'm Tech Country, and I'm signing out.